Now, here's a video talking about the rapture. If you ever want to have a debate with someone, concerning the pre-trib rapture or the post-tribulation rapture, okay, it's real simple. Okay, the Bible says in those days before the flood, the people were enjoying banquets and parties and weddings right up into the time of Noah. Okay, so what's that telling you? That's telling you that when this event happens, people are enjoying prosperity. They have food, they have water, they're having parties. Okay, very important. They know nothing until the flood came and took them away, and this is how it shall be at the coming of the Son of Man. Okay, very important. You just saw they had food and water, they were enjoying parties, which means they had to have money, there was some kind of prosperity. Okay, now this is where people get confused. Behold, I tell you a mystery, some shall sleep, change in a moment, twinkle of an eye. And at the last trumpet, for the trumpet will sound, the dead shall be raised, change. See, this is where people get confused, okay? At the last trumpet. Now, can you disprove that there will be multiple trumpets at the time of this catching away? In other words, there's a horn, and then 30 seconds later, okay, and then 30 seconds later, another one, and at the last trumpet of the series, people will be changed at the twinkle of an eye and caught up and to meet the Lord in clouds. Okay, the last trumpet sound, there's going to be like a series of trumpets. It's not just one blaring horn in the atmosphere. It's like a series, like 5, maybe 7, and at the last one is when boom, 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 people will be changed. See, when the first trumpet sound starts blaring off, there's going to be lukewarm Christians that are going to be on their knees begging Jesus to take them, but the door's already closed. So you've seen that when this event happens, people are not going to be starving. Okay, billions of people have not died, So let's take a look here. Okay. Second angel poured out his bowl into the sea, turned it to blood like that of a dead person, and every living thing in the sea died. Now, this is going to happen in the tribulation, okay? Blood of a dead person, okay? So, why does blood turn black, okay? Blood turns black because it becomes deoxygenated. Okay? So, sometime in the tribulation, there's going to be some horrific earthquake, and a fault line or something happens in the ocean to where billions and trillions of gallons of oil, that of a dead man's blood, which is black, will contaminate the entire ocean, and all the creatures in the sea will die. Okay, that's what that verse is talking about. Every living creature will die. That's how contaminated, or how much oil will contaminate the ocean. So if you go through the book of Revelation and the tribulation and study up on it, you can see that 1/3 of all the land will be burned up. You can see that people will be forced to take the mark of the beast, which will change their DNA. So they'll be walking around like zombies. You can see that billions of people will die of famine. You can see that there's going to be an earthquake so powerful that every island will fall away into the ocean. So you can clearly see that before the end of the tribulation, billions of people will be dead. Oh, and I think it says that the sun will be like 7 times brighter than normal, which means every green living plant will be dead. Every tree will be dead. So does that sound like a period of time where people were enjoying banquets and parties and weddings? No, it does not. Because this event doesn't happen at the end of the tribulation. Just read the book of Revelations, read Matthew. They do not line up. It's two different periods of time. So if you ever want to have a debate with someone, just start pointing out all the facts that billions of people will be dead. The ocean will be so contaminated with oil that every living creature in the sea will die. There will, pestilence. There'll be people forced to take a mark of the beast that'll alter their DNA. Once you take the mark, you can't repent, It's not like, God, I'm sorry here. I'm going to chop off my hand and show that I repent and, put my name in the Lamb's Book of Life. It's because it's altered your DNA. You belong to the devil. That is proof that this catching away event happens before the tribulation, not at the end of it. Now, the devil knows all about this catching away event. Okay. Now, I strongly encourage you to go back and watch this movie with Tom Cruise, War of the Worlds, and pay attention, because when these stupid-looking alien ships are up in the air, listen, there's horn sounds. They go, wah, wah. And then you see people exploding out of their clothes, okay? And then it shows like an EMP effect, okay? Go back and check out this movie, okay? Because there's going to be a deception involving during the same time as this catching away event. Now, here's something else that's very interesting, okay? You've been taught your whole life that this catching away event happens immediately before the 7-year tribulation begins, okay? We've been taught or brainwashed our whole lives that the rapture happens and then the 7-year tribulation happens and then Jesus comes back at the end of the tribulation, right? We've been taught as if this catching away event happens 5 seconds before the 7-year tribulation begins. But if you look in the Bible, there's no evidence that this catching away event happens 5 seconds before the 7-year tribulation begins, or immediately before. See? But if God was to rapture the church, let's say this catching away event happens, and then there's 3.5-year time frame before the 7-year tribulation begins, or there's a 7-year period of time after the rapture before the 7-year tribulation begins. Do you understand? Okay? By having a double set of 7 or a period of time in between, it could cause a great deception. And the Bible clearly says that God is going to cause a great deception. Okay? Now, I believe that great deception, if you go and research what all these Muslims are anticipating on happening in the end times, you'll learn all about the Muslim Jesus that is coming. Okay? What our Bible depicts as the false prophet and what all these Muslims believe concerning the Muslim Jesus, and it lines up perfect. They believe Jesus will come back. He's a great prophet. He will perform signs and miracles to prove that he is Jesus. And he'll show those stupid Christians, that he never died on the cross, for Allah cannot have a son, and blah, 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 all this stuff, okay? The Muslim Jesus. Very important. This is most likely what this great deception could be. So if you know someone that, they just refuse to believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, just go through all these steps in the video, explain this event happens during a period of time where, there's apparently prosperity, banquets, there are going to be parties, there are going to be celebrations, they're going to give into marriage, you're going to have weddings, okay? And that's not what it's going to look like at the end of the tribulation, okay?